Good morning. Hello. Welcome to the Babi Active page. My name's Natasha, and this morning I've put together a little bit of a workout, just reminding ourselves of some of the familiar moves for those who've been into a Pilates session, or been to a yoga session, or been to a more mindful session. Some of the moves will feel quite familiar to you. Slow impact, focus on moving with control this morning, 6 weeks to 6 months postnatal. As I say, my name's Natasha. It's really important that you feel good when you join our sessions. 100% fit and well is what we ask. If you're not feeling quite up to it, just come back and watch it on replay. I've set up a space here, it's quite safe. It's non-slip. I'm a note-taking kind of person, so I tend to have a little notepad and a pen with me and scribble along if I need to. You might find that useful as well if you're a note-taking kind of person. It's not essential. I hope you've perhaps had a look at some of our other videos. We've produced over 50 videos on the Babi Active page, now available on the website and of course available on the YouTube channel as well. And we're so pleased to have been able to operate during this pandemic and of course during lockdown, bringing these classes to you for everyone and anyone who's interested in postnatal exercise, specifically for postnatal recovery and reconnection to your body after the birth of your baby. I'm going to go and check on the laptop now and just see if I can get a pop-up of what's happening directly. You might like to grab yourself a cushion or a small ball, or if you like, a band. Got something stretchy this morning, you might like that. And I sometimes just use a scarf, so that will do. Grab that, grab a drink, and we'll get started. Can't see it on there yet, but I'm going to go ahead anyway and record this and then post it to all the Babi Active destinations. I'm going to check now, back the camera. So if you're watching, welcome, and if you're watching on replay, thanks so much for visiting us. I'm just going to pop this to the side. As I say this morning, just so you've got your stuff ready. You probably need a blanket, a soft ball, maybe a cushion. If you feel like you like padding under your knees when you're on all fours, that's also a good idea. You could just roll your mat up. I tend to just use any old blankets, you know, a towel. Towels are really handy. I've got a towel here. Towels are really handy to having. You don't have to buy any expensive equipment to do any of these sessions at all. Yeah, you can just use what you've got at home. Band, cushion, ball, mat space, and I think we're ready to go. So we're going to start off standing, a little bit of connection to the pelvic floor to start with. So let's just bring ourselves into standing. One more click on the page, see if I can see it. Otherwise we're going, I'll start us off here, just rolling the shoulders up, back, down and around. Up, back, down. Let's just ease through here. So if you're a complete beginner, you're going to find this a really great introduction to movement. And one of the key benefits, amongst the numerous benefits of being fit and active, is of course becoming aware of your body. Not only that, you'll become aware of your energy and you'll be able to follow your mood a little bit better based on becoming aware of what's happening in the mind. Highly underestimated bonus of being physically active. You really do get time to tune in here. Take your arms up and have the biggest stretch you've had all July. Reach up, mind your equipment. My shoulders are right out of their sockets, and then down. So remember, if you're just 6 weeks after the birth of your baby, vaginal delivery, this is going to feel a little bit wobbly, a little bit soft. You may even have healing. You've definitely had some bruising there that's been required to rest fully. So just being mindful of where it feels a pull and a tug this morning. And saying hello to parts of the body. I'm going to do that one more time. I'm just going to really stretch through my fingers and then take my shoulders right out of their sockets. You can take yours right out and then down, following a flowing breath. And then if you're 12 weeks after the C-section, the same applies. Scarring needs to be healed. Very, very careful recovery with that, making sure that you feel ready to move. So if it feels any pulling or tugging, just take it easy today. Reach out one hand, take that shoulder blade right out of the socket, and then just look to the side. And we'll do it with the other side. For those who are really thinking about their abdominal separation, how that's healing, perhaps you're cautious there, you've had some professional guidance on that, you can use your hands. It's a really good tip. Just gently bringing some space between the last rib and your pelvis on the side of your body as you flex over. If you're not sure about any of the terms I've used in any of the sessions since we've begun, message and comment. I'm happy to go through that with you. If you've got any concerns about any of the exercises that we've done, just message and I'll come straight back to you when I can, when I'm in the office, and I'll answer the questions for you. One more time each side. So really try and lift up through the spine as you go over. And imagine that you're not able to move forward or backwards. You can only go to the side. Imagine I'm kind of glued in somewhere, fixed in. Just noticing how that feels. Fabulous. Let's just get into some of those squats. Now, this is one of the most uncomfortable positions for a woman to be in after the birth of their baby, because of all the pulling around the pelvic floors and because of all the healing and all the pressure that's been there. So practicing your squats, we'll start to integrate some pelvic floor activity with that. So as you're moving, just go with what feels good. Don't worry about your depth. You're not doing a sumo squat. You're not aiming to get any huge medals for lifting heavy weights at this time. You're just revising movements that you do every day and checking in with what feels good. See how you feel in the feet. The soles of the feet are flat on the floor. Hip shifts back behind you. Fabulous. Now I want you to start thinking about that pelvic floor as we move. So I want you to relax and then draw up and inwards through the vagina. And just feel if there's a connection there. So relax and then pull up. See if you can coordinate that. 2 more. And then just have a little wiggle and a shift. Maybe just march your feet. Or give yourself a little bit of movement here. Just allowing some of those little snap, crackle and pop sounds to bubble up through your spine. And then of course, what we're working on in our pelvic floor, we'll bring Miss Jenny over here and we're just going, just revise that. So we're working on muscles that come up and inwards here, and the sphincter here at the back will usually operate simultaneously. Well, it will 100% operate simultaneously, but you might not feel it. And so you've got the sphincters here, and then you've got what feels like maybe some action here, but we tend to have more action from the anal passage in our pelvic floor work. So we'll do some squats now, and we'll just feel if we can feel activation in the sphincter here, and release. We'll do another series of squats, and then we'll draw our attention to the front, the urethra, and then we're working with the sphincters, the 2 sets of sphincters here to really get some conversation going in our little squats this morning, and that should send lots of yummy, nourishing blood flow to that area to help you heal. So let's do that straight straight away. If you've got a cushion or a ball, bring it in your hands or repeat those squats. Put it at the side of your chest. Take your legs a bit wider if you're more familiar with your squats, and we'll work the back passage here. So you might feel, just as you're squeezing, you can raise your arms and synchronise the movement with the pelvic floor. So working on the back passage, you might feel the vaginal concentration, co-contraction. Feel that your feet might be shifting, muscles around your body, and your buttock is working as well. You can carry on and do a few more. Let's work to the front, so the urethra. So think about zipping up from the back to the front. We'll do 4, 3. So drop and then engage. Feel like you're zipping up from the back to the front on that. You've probably heard some of this movement cueing before. Last one. Stay up tall, and then just take the ball down and then come up onto your toes. If you haven't got a ball, this is a cushion. Rock back. And what we're trying to do is lower with control. If it feels too much on the shoulders and the neck already, or you're getting too hot and feeling a bit flustered, just make the movement smaller. So what I'm going to try and do is really control the movement down. 4 more. So up as high as you like, and allow yourself to wobble, but come down as slowly as you can. Heels and toes rocking. So notice where you're wobbling, notice where your ankles are moving for you, stopping you from falling. Again, if this feels uncomfortable, please stop. I've got one more. I'm lowering with control, lower with control. Lengthen and come down. Fabulous. Put the ball between your knees or the cushion between your knees, please. Out to the side and in. What you can do is kind of rock out with your fingers. If that feels a bit odd, you're not feeling a little bit artistic today, don't worry about it, just put a thumbs up. And then just aim those to meet you in the middle as if you was clapping hands. Now naturally, you're already doing some work holding the ball here, cushion, in between the thighs. A bit higher than knees, please. You can adjust your feet, can't you, to make it feel more comfortable. Yeah? Fabulous. So rocking out. Feel that you've got your shoulders down in the sockets here, and then take them out on purpose. So all the way out, and then sink them back in. When we keep our shoulder blades down in their place like this, we ask the back muscles to do more work. So keep drawing those shoulders down. Just notice where you're getting some feedback into your neck, your shoulders, upper back. One more. Excellent. Now just practice on squeezing here. So squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. So drawing your thighs, if you're squeezing, you can feel this squeezing onto the cushion. If you've got quite a pumped cushion, it'll feel better. If you've got a really narrow cushion, it's going to feel a lot harder. So the bigger the cushion, the better on this one. And this works into the pelvic floor. Put your hands just on your buttocks behind you. Just feel if you've got any movement in your buttocks or your hips, if they're working to move. See if you can just feel them. Feel around your hips. You'll feel muscles working all the way around your pelvis. So just have a little feel around your body, see what's working for you. Where you're working. Should feel pain-free, no discomfort in the lower back. Got the hang of that? Should we integrate pelvic floor? So if you want to, we'll do 8, and then we'll do squeeze. And we'll zip up from back to front for those who want to. Zip up from back to front. There's the front, release. Release the buttock tension. If you just feel that you're just getting a good action on the urethra or just the back passage, just do that. Just checking in. You might begin to feel some of this work through the front of your body, through this front line. Yeah? Probably realising that you're breathing out here. 4 more. Breathing in, breathing out. And again, drop those shoulders, lengthen that posture. Really working into your spine here to stay tall. I can feel that very deeply on my deep abdominal muscles. Last one. And relax. Take that ball, see if you can wrap it round. Or a cushion. Keep wrapping it round yourself. Pass it round. Check it into my tech office here. carrying on winding round, and then the other way. Excellent. We should be feeling warmed up a little bit. Good stuff. Loosening off. All right, let's start off moving to the side again like we did before. Mind your chandelier, your ceiling. Pass it to the other side, so pass your cushion over, lean over. And just paying attention what's again happening in your midline. And think about breathing out as you bend over to the side. I'm just going to do one more each side. We are going to come down to the floor. Feet stay flat on the floor, anchoring you down, lengthening through the spine. Excellent. Take your cushion and then slide it down your legs, or roll it down your legs, and then we're going to make our way to the floor. So if you've got a ball, you can roll it down. If you've got a cushion, you're just sliding it down. Bend your knees. Drop the cushion on the floor. Maybe you're leaning on the cushion here. Have a little squeeze of the cushion on the floor. Pressing into the cushion. Keep the knees bent. You can see there. Keep the knees bent and let the shoulders round. So my knees aren't locked out, but I'm getting a really big stretch. Feels too strong. Flexibility's not quite there. Easing out of that. I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to reach the cushion up really high. Stretch up. Come up onto my toes. And then come down. Spreading my toes really wide. Rolling down. Chin to chest. Bend those knees. Take your time here. You should be breathing fully here. Relax those shoulders. Let the head hang down. Bend those knees. Take your cushion as far away point you can. If you're quite flexible, you can bend your knees a bit further. Reach your fingers to the floor. And then come down. So letting go here. Child's pose straight away. See where you get to with this. Notice how your feet and your ankles feel. See if you're comfortable sitting there. You can always take your feet. You can take your bottom off your feet in this one. And if you've got a ball or a cushion, just rest if you need to, your head there, to support yourself. Otherwise you can come down, you can take your feet, bottom off your feet if you need to. And then we're going to push ourselves up. So hands by the side of the head. Going to reach up to the side. Just like we did when we were standing, shoulders in their sockets. And then what I want you to do is come forward again onto all fours. So here, again, as in last week. Rolling those shoulders, rolling those ankles. You roll the shoulders there if you can. Don't forget, if you're not quite happy, you can come onto your fists. You're going to clap your hands in that position. We're going to spend a little bit of time in here, then we're going to come into kneeling. Okay, so here we are. Let's just take ourselves forward and back. Release any tension through the sacrum. You can untuck your toes if it feels good. And we're loading the wrists here. Really important that we keep those wrists strong. Of course, we're working into the shoulders and into the chest. So dropping that weight. Begin to feel the tummy muscles working for you. Shifting that weight. We're going to take ourselves up and then down. And from here, I want you to reach out your fingers, tent peg them, and then get some very long stretches through the back. So when I say long, I mean bringing length to your spine here. If that feels too intense, drop your arms and rest. And then we're going to bring ourselves up and then shift forward and then come back down. Bow to the earth, bring yourself up, shift your weight forward and feel how you are moving. Does it feel good to move your feet? Do you want to keep your feet in the same place? Do you need to take your knees narrower? Do you want to take your feet down? Just play around with this. And gradually, as you feel more confident with your movement, it starts to become more fluid, but easier. pushing through the palms of the hands, we begin to lift our heart space. So here, imagining we've got a really beautiful heart emoji on our t-shirt, my symbol of superhero on the front, and then opening that front body up to greet the sky. Roll your shoulders here. And feel how you're taking a little bit of a stretch. So we wouldn't be doing this if we had any vulnerability in abdominal separation. We wouldn't be doing this. We would just be shifting forward and back and working on getting our tummy muscles to feel effort towards the spine. So I'm going to do one more of those all the way back. And a little play, loosen off, and then come forward. Dropping the shoulders back into the socket. Coming back, we're going to come onto kneeling. Give your little hands and wrists a little bit of a break. And the other way. So here, if you feel that you've already feel a bit achy on your knees, start to begin to look around for some blankets, towels to go under the knees as we're spending kneeling some time. Excuse me, just checking in on my view. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just put a towel down, I think, as a demonstration for you. You could roll anything up. So come down onto your knees for me. Bring your cushion with you and your ball. And if you need a drink, have a good drink. There we are. Onto your knees and put my drink down now. Well done. So you can untuck your feet if you need to. Come up onto your knees. What I'm going to do is grab that ball again. I'm going to give you a chance with a ball or cushion to work here. So depending on the size of your ball, obviously the bigger the ball, the easier it is to squeeze. So imagine your femur bones coming directly out of your pelvis and they're kind of squeezing inward. It's really going to work again into the buttocks, towards the lower back. Of course, that's part of your core system. So really engaging those muscles. That's become weak during the pregnancy unless you've been physically active throughout your pregnancy or before, throughout your pregnancy. And then what we do is we do what we did on the standing position. So just see if you can just tuck your toes under if you need to get some balance. You might need the sofa with you. See how you feel. So here, lift the spine, lift the chest. Big heart emoji here on your t-shirt. Imagine it's there like that. So you're really presenting that great posture and this movement, lifting and directing energy forwards. One hand onto the side, we go over. Just like we did on standing. And here we're trying to gently breathe out. You may feel some doming here. If you have, then you're going too far. You may need to go to a half lift, so about 50% of that lift. To make sure there's some integrity building up there. All right. Building in some control in the movement to give you deeper muscle response so that you can support that. It's a bit soft here and much less muscle tone. And again. And then allowing some pelvic floor activation on the out breath. So we can work on the Pilates breath here, hands to the rib cage, drop your shoulders. So we can breathe into our hands. So less breathing from this area, more breathing through the rib cage and the abdominal wall as we breathe in is coming back towards the spine instead of our belly breath, which is what we practice in yoga. So drop the shoulders, pelvis is underneath the shoulders, long through the spine, inhale. Big smile, you're doing great. Exhale, muscles come away from the hand. Just do one more. And exhale there. Fully engaging the deep muscles underneath the six pack. Really supportive group of muscles called the core system, or part of the core system. And you'll be working those. So let's do our hands. Remember we do our hands. So you can do the thumbs up, or you can rock out, drop your shoulders, roll them back into the sockets here, lift them to the sides. Repeat, so 8 of these little squeezes here. So let's inhale, exhale, lift that heart space. Get that little squeeze in. Really feel your posture in its position here. 3. Drop those shoulders. Remember, you're working into your back muscles when you pull your arms down. We're going to do 4 more. Can we try zipping up from back to front? A little bit of advanced work if you can. Totally coordinated. If not, just work on the out breath. Today's session. First session back after baby, just move and breathe deeply. Last one. Excellent, take that ball out there. Give yourself a little child's pose here. Why not rest down again? Reach the arms wide. And then come back up. For this one, you'll need your band or your scarf. So usually a piece of material about 1 metre long would work really well. So just grab something that's got some good length on it and we'll start to work into our shoulders. I'm going to take you onto one knee, but if that feels too much on the pelvis, just doesn't feel right for you today, or you feel really unbalanced because we just don't have that core strength really to keep us in one position, just come back onto 2 knees. You can also do this in a chair, sitting with your bottom on the sofa, sitting up really tall, or go back into a standing position. So I'm going to take my right leg forward. I'm just going to see if I can put it flat on the floor, and I'm just going to open up that hip area here. So straight away feeling that psoas muscle really opening up any tightness there. So I can feel that I'm particularly tight there today. So I'm just dropping my hip into that and then bringing it back and just feeling a little bit of movement there to release any tension. Using your band if you want to, just bring your hands up as you move forward and then back. So what I'm going to get you to do, so you can see my foot clearly, is take your foot more to the diagonal if you can. That's going to stop you wobbling so much. And you can even turn your foot out to the side if that helps. You don't have to have yourself completely lined up here today. So just feel what's good for you. And you're going to move forward and backwards with your arms coming up and your arms coming down. So working on the shoulders. Again, if it feels too much, don't take your hands over your head. All right, let's do 4. So let's think about where we could breathe here. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the muscles pull back to the spine there. And again, 2. Bit of control. Hope your knee's okay. If you're standing, you would just be doing the arm work. Last one. And then bring yourself down to the floor. Maybe you need to come here. Maybe that's enough for you. Take a breath. And then if you can come down onto the palms, or maybe you're still tent peg, that's okay. Maybe you're on fists. And then just open and then close. So I'm going to give you an option for those who are just not feeling right with their hip up there. You can take your legs as wide as you like. Come in here, take yourself up and then down. I'm going to do that with an exhalation. So take it with the movement and the breath. So here, let's breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in. And it doesn't really matter which way the breath goes when you're not using the Pilates breath. We're just using this movement to really open up your spine. So this is opening the thoracic spine. See what happens to your head. I haven't got a mirror, so I'm just guessing that I can move a little bit there. Come back into child's pose, particularly if you're feeling a bit sweaty, or like you feel that you've done quite a lot. Just bring your head to the earth. Open those legs wide again. You can also take your head onto that pillow, which you might have handy, or 2 what I call potatoes. Let your tummy muscles become soft here. And then coming back up. So we'll come back onto all 4s and we'll do our little rocking that we did before. So you can either stay here, move around so you feel really comfortable. So take as much space as you like. If you're further along than your 6-week or 12-week and you've got the very healed up abdominal strength, drop your hips a little bit, rock forwards and back. You can take it right down to your bottoms, aiming to the floor. Imagine you've got a beautiful towel behind you, and then put the towel gently between your legs. Just have a little bit of a wiggle here. and then come back down. You can untuck your feet if you want to, nearly 2 more. So take what you need from this movement. Drop into the hips. Strengthening up the wrists as we move, loading that chest again, working on tummy muscles, controlling them back towards the spine. So they're not hanging here, they're gently acting to support your back. And then come back down, child's pose again. This time bring your hands and make a little shark fin over your head if it feels good. If your head's on the pillow, you can still do this one. And gently coming up. So coming up really slowly. We're going to take ourselves back onto our knees again with the option of taking left leg forward. So when you're ready, just bring yourself forward. So here you can take your knees in or out. Just feel where you are and see how this feels here. Remember, because we've got our leg away, opened up in this stride position, it's really opening up the pelvic floor. So they're getting quite a bit of work here, quite a bit of a stretch. So just be really kind to yourself, staying in what feels very comfortable for you. Again, if you've got flexibility here, you might be coming down onto hands here, and I'm not really working too much on your upper body posture here. I'm really focused on getting your spine to rotate a little bit and getting you to breathe in a way that supports your tummy muscles, so that when you're breathing out, you're pulling your tummy muscles naturally towards the spine and they're not hanging around. So we're not doing a Pilates breath. So take your foot out again, a bit wide if you need to. Take that foot out to the side if it feels comfortable, and just feel where you want to go there. Does that feel okay? Does it feel okay in the sacrum? Does it feel helpful to any previous sciatica? Sciatica? New word of the day. So here. So you can take yourself up. So just see where it feels good. So just notice where you feel good and what feels nourishing for you. What feels great about this movement. Maybe it's too much. Maybe you just want to open to the side and point to the side. And then coming back down. I'm going to close my legs this time, and I'm going to fold myself onto the floor. I'm going to put 2 potatoes under my head. I'm going to take about 3 breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. If you feel you want to go wider with your legs to explore the child's pose again, or if you feel your if you feel your breasts are tender, open the legs, open the legs. So as you wish, do what feels good for you. This is me here, about here. Relax those shoulders. And then rising up. Really slowly rising up. So staying here for now if you can. Putting one hand, so maybe it can reach to the floor, to the side, if you've got that flexibility there of the spine. If not, you're just on 10 pegs again. Drop your shoulders down into the sockets. Remember that beautiful centre, the centre of your heart space or your joyous space, the space that has been place of miracles. So bring a kind of, almost like a blessing if you're comfortable with that word, or like an intention, or some sort of recognition to this space here, that it served such great purpose. And now as you move through your sessions, as you move through any of your more mindful sessions, that you're really nourishing this space, you're really sending loving thoughts to this space, because often we sort of disapproving with our space here, because we've changed quite a lot during the pregnancy, and for many of us the rest of our lives will have marks on our abdomen, marks around our buttocks, stretch marks in places, and sometimes we have a bit of a disassociation or a separate thinking about those body parts. But if we can begin to bring a little bit more of loving kindness, and you've probably heard this before, random acts of kindness, if you can bring that kind of sense of anything that gives you that kind of, oh yeah, I relate to that, anything that gives you positivity, anything that gives you more of a nurturing thought, as maybe you think about your baby in those very nurturing and giving and compassionate ways, very, very loving. Maybe we can start to apply that to the way we are in ourselves and our body, so that we can be with it as we move forward into our postnatal stage for the rest of our lives. So here, small interlude. So here onto tent pegs and just over to the top again. And again, just starting to feel a bit too much, just take it to the side. Maybe you could look down there. Maybe you just need to come a little bit deeper and point up. This is all to do with bringing that extension through the spine and then into this movement, working into your obliques. To try the other side. I'm just beginning to create a bit of space here. These muscles have been under a very stretched position, so we're just working on asking them to see if they can just respond to what we're doing, releasing any tension that's set in. And I'm going to work on the shoulders next and the chest. See where you want to go. So I'm going to come forward. So lots of tips here to just keep you moving. You may remember some of these videos when I teach them. I'm just designing them so that you can watch them on replay, stop, pause, so you can go back and do that section again and see what you think about it. So we really worked on our obliques, still working on the core system, still working on our backs here, and still working into the pelvis. So lots of mobility for you here, nourishing mobility. I'm looking for a drink. Have a quick drink. If you're watching, say good morning, say hi. Let me know if you're following today. Let me know the name of your baby if you want to. I'd love to know who's watching, and give us a little wave. Don't be shy, you're not on Facebook Live. You've seen Facebook Lives before. Give me a little heart or a little like. You don't have to comment if you don't want to, but it's nice to know who's watching. And if you're watching on replay, thank you so much for coming back to our site and for checking out our videos. So I'm not doing a talk today. I'm just working on lots of little snippets for you to help with your postnatal recovery. So the next section that I want to do is, yes, I want to just work on a little bit more of the shoulders here, coming into this movement. So if that feels too strong, have a go. Just see if you can get your elbows in rough line with your shoulders. Come onto your knees or come onto your bottom if it feels uncomfortable sitting in this position. And then just draw your shoulder blades back and imagine that somebody was standing behind you and that they were taking your elbows back. This retraction here is going to give you that feeling of muscles squeezing between the shoulder blades. So just see if you can get some of that in. It might help to rock out your hands or put your thumbs up, really aligning the joints, thinking about how the joints are lining up, thumb, wrist, elbow, shoulder, and then just drop that back down. That's quite a big movement for most people. That might be easier. So I'm really working on your upper neck and back again. So I'm going to give you another option of kneeling. You could do this standing, but for those who are a little bit further along, you might want to come into kneeling. And I'm just going to get you to open up here. So I'm just lifting my chest, and I'm just going to open my elbows back. I'm going to stay for about 3 breaths. If that feels too strong, you might want to stay here or here. Or you might just want to stay here and see if you can just take 3 breaths and just draw those shoulders away from the ear. So this is my right foot. I'm going to come into this position, find a bit of a flat position for me. And I'm not sinking into my hips. I'm just keeping myself a little bit square by controlling my pelvis, controlling my spine. Imagine I've got a brilliant crown on my head today. Drop your shoulders down. 3 breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's go. So here we are, breathing in. Draw those shoulders back. Last one. Stop when you've had enough. And then spread your arms all the way up to the top. Big stretch through. Drop those arms. So here is the bit where I want to drop my hands behind you. Take your knee down. So grab your hands. And grab them on either side. And just begin to see where you can feel stretch. If that feels a bit too strong, you can angle your hands down towards the floor, or you can just put your palms onto your buttocks. So put your palms onto your buttocks, drawing down, and relax. Well done. Roll those shoulders out, then roll them forward. Roll them out backwards, and then roll them forwards. Lovely. A little bit of a neck turn. You can do all this in a chair. Remember, it's because we're kneeling. We're using our muscles in our centre, in our trunk, in our core, to help us stay upright. So if you're feeling that you're already doing quite a lot, you actually are doing quite a lot. This is quite a long session, an hour. Come down onto your bottom, sit on a chair. Here we go again. So here, foot flat on the floor, rising up through the spine. I'm feeling very, very balanced, very certain about my posture. And take my arms out. Where did you feel good? Did you feel good here? Was that your position? Or did you feel better here? A little bit bringing out the character of you here. Maybe that felt better. Or did you feel here was more of a strength position for you, more of a challenge, bringing some fire into your belly, working on your solar power. So you're really rising up through the roots and the earth, up through you, energy driving up. Drop your shoulders. 3 breaths, your style, let's go. Don't be afraid to fidget. Drop those shoulders back down. Try not to sink in the hips, lift up through the body. I'm going to do one more. Drop those shoulders. That feels amazing. Rise up, ladies. Bring your knee back down. Last time, hands clasped behind the side. You can make this kind of position behind you if you want to. That feels good. Lifting up through the chest. Or here. Here. And relax down. You have done amazing today so far. Give your knees a rub if you need to. Time for another little drink. You've done quite a lot already in this session, so we're just going to do 5 minutes. I'm going to take you onto a bridge, and I'm going to do that with some Pilates breathing. So you could roll up your towel or roll up your band or your scarf, or you could get a little teddy. My very Welsh themed teddy. Have a little drink, and then we'll just see if we can get those deep abdominal muscles to work. And we're almost done. So checking in with your deep transverse abdominal muscles, checking in, this is your core work. Come down onto the floor with care and go into lying down, knees bent, feet on the floor. Roll yourself down, and then let's give ourselves a little knee hug first. Have a fidget, hopefully you can see me. Bring one leg up, and then just see if you can get your hands underneath it. Hopefully you can see me, and then have a little stretch up. And then we'll take that leg down and up 2 times. If you like this move and you feel coordinated, separate the shoulder blades, take your arms up and down. Any Pilates breath here, exhaling here. Let's do 2, inhale. Or just practice breathing in and out with the move. Or just do the move, last one. And relax. See if you can take that leg to the side, this one down to the side. See if that feels easy. Keeping those muscles, pulling them down towards the tummy. One more time, drop it down to the side, keep these muscles pulling towards the spine. And taking it up with control. Well done, try the other leg, give a little bit of squeeze. Don't forget your neck might have come to this position, so just bring your chin back. then take it up. Give it a good rub behind here. And that tightness there. Give it a good rub in the belly of your hamstrings there. And then we're going to take that leg down and up. So we're going to try and control it. We're only going to do 2 more if you like with the hands. If not, keep them on your tummy and notice what's happening doming. If there's any doming. And just focus on trying to breathe in and out in a flowing rhythm. Breathing in. And try breathing out. Doesn't matter which way we go as long as we're really thinking about the breathing. That's the tick box, just thinking about the breath today. There's no right or wrong way. We're just beginners and we're just focusing on getting our bodies and our minds connected. We're recovering from the birth of our baby. So you can use your teddy this time. You can drop that hip down and just notice if your teddy's moving when you drop your hip down and pick it up. So hopefully teddy's staying a little bit still. Excellent. And then we'll do a little bit of our breathing Pilates exercise. So we'll try and take our arms up as we inhale, and then we'll try and bring them down. What we should see with the teddy, or perhaps you've got a sock on your tummy, like we've done before. So we're going to breathe in, trying to keep the teddy down. So we're not trying to breathe in to bring the teddy up. Belly breath. We're trying to breathe into the rib cage here. So let's do 2 breathing exercises with the Pilates breath. Breathing into the hands. And maybe you'll see the teddy going down as we breathe out. Okay, so maybe you'll notice that with your mind's eye on your own body. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. And out. Notice what's happening. You feel like you're scooping up around the belly button. You feel like just pulling those muscles down. I hope that felt good. Really deep connection to those muscles underneath your what's known as a 6-pack. What's there on top, superficial muscles. So let's try with the arms, and we'll just do 6. So if you like, keep that tummy, the teddy there, or you could put one hand, undo one hand, and pull muscles away from your hand. Either way, spine is relaxed. You've got a little bit of what feels like a neutral spine. You're not pulling anywhere, holding this position. You can, of course, take your feet a bit further away. You can have them wider. Anything to bring you a sense of more control into your body. Separate the shoulder blades. I'm going to inhale up. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. And go with your rhythm. That's my breath, the speed. Noticing what happens to the shoulders. Do they come out? Just feel them. 3. Spread the fingers. Maybe put a thumbs up on top this time. Control the arms down if you're working on control more. If you're deep into your Pilates mindset, let's really coordinate here. I'm going to do one more, I'm going to rock out. And relax. If it feels good, take the feet together, open up the hips. If that doesn't feel too good for you, just do what we did before with the one leg. And bring it back up. If you want, you can put your hands underneath your buttocks. That maybe feels more comfortable. Again, we're just giving a little bit of stretch here into the pelvic floors, and of course the adductors which we worked during our work on our pelvic floor. And then slowly release the hands. Had my hands in that position. If you're going back in to rewind this, under my buttocks like that. So you could put your fists under and you could bring them up slowly with your fists, or you could bring them up slowly with the palms of the hands. Just take the knees onto the chest. Bye-bye, Teddy. Give your knees a really big squeeze. If there's too much for your knees there, just give yourself a squeeze here. Let's go wide. and then we'll do a bridge to finish. So down very much with control, and then we'll do, for those who have progressed, this isn't the first session, you feel quite comfortable, quite controlled, why not bring your feet a little bit closer, and as you bring yourself up, bring your hands up overhead. Working here with the Pilates breath if you know your moves, if you know your stuff. If not, let's just keep our hands on our tummy today. First time coming back, let's just do 6. So you have a choice, hands overhead or hands on the tummy. Breathing in, breathing out. Just lift and squeeze the buttocks. Notice that you can lift, you can get a real sense of work coming from the lower back and into the top of the buttocks. Try and come down without a flop. That will be my target for you today with your first session with me one-to-one. I'd say let's just get you to lift a little bit, depending on your experience. If you know the bridge, I'd say that's really working to controlling that bridge lower, keeping the knees very parallel. And I'd say let's see if we can just come down with control. Just notice where your muscles are saying hello. Spread out the feet. I might introduce some counting, depending on how experienced you are. Really just trying to get you to do the movements. Maybe you're feeling you're getting quite a lot of work into pelvic floor. Buttocks can relax here on the way down. Maybe you need a little bit of a swish swish before the last 2. So I'm going to do 2 with the Pilates breath. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Making your last one now if you haven't already, and then we'll move to the swish swish. Relax everything there. Hands can be by the sides or on your tummy. You can keep your buttocks off, coming off the floor. You don't have to keep your buttocks on the floor. And I can feel where I need to go, so I'd encourage you to do the same. So find out where you need to go. Take your legs wider. Try it with an open, much wider position. All of these movements, these split positions, work on your sciatica. Nourishing, just think about how much you're nourishing your internal organs here. Massaging the buttocks. Think of all the blood flow. Maybe you're getting a really good stretch. Maybe you want to increase the stretch by looking away and pausing. If you've had any real pelvic concerns during your pregnancy, you just want to go easy on the width, and you wouldn't probably be hanging around this much. You'd know that it was feeling too much movement in the pelvis. So you would just come very, very gently here and work up to building some strength around your pelvis. Do your squats and working to build up strength in those ligaments that have been quite loose. Pelvis that's felt a little bit more under pressure and uneven. Well done. I'm going to take both legs down really gently. I'm going to reach my arms up for one long big stretch. Keep my head on the floor. Got my cushion there or a ball. I can reach forward. Stretch up through the toes, through the hands. And then let everything flop. Open the legs wide. In the family well-being sessions, this is our starfish pose. So you may want to just stay here and rest if your baby's gone to sleep. You can grab one of your blankets, chuck it over you right now, and just stay for a little bit longer. Or you might feel that you want to roll over and just have this little sleep on the side whilst your baby's sleeping with you there on the floor. Brings us to the end of today's session. Child's pose before you come up to standing. If you feel you have any niggles, nearly knocked my drink over, any niggles on your on your lower back. Come back to the beginning of the session where we did our child's pose to finish off. Doing some circular movements around. I'll just demonstrate that before I leave you. All of this stuff. And then slowly coming back up to standing in a way that's comfortable for you. I suggest 1 foot forward. And that brings us to the end of today's session. I'm so pleased to be able to deliver this session to you. Thank you so much for watching, whether you're watching on replay or you've watched live, checked in with me today. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. I'm doing a postnatal advanced session Friday morning, 10:30. Bye for now. Well done.